Hit record and we'll just get going here. So,
all right.
Hey, thanks guys. Thanks for joining me.
Hey,
Yeah, it's nice to have
having us
four.
here.
It's nice to have a whole band.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. So let me get this a little rearranged here. And happy Record Store Day.
Yes,
Right?
I celebrated this morning, so
Did ya?
I'm really tired.
Yeah. Where'd
Been
you
up
go?
since
Oh
5:45.
my gosh, where'd you go?
Indie CD and vinyl.
Okay. All right. Did they any live bands there?
They postponed the start. No, that was Luna who postponed. Eventually canceled some of their acts.
Okay.
As far as I could tell, I went early and got my stuff and left.
Yeah. Okay.
So I didn't stick around for any of the
Okay.
bands, but they did have a DJ
Yeah. Oh. Okay.
inside.
Okay. Yeah. Was it a long line?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Unfortunately, I haven't been to one. Well, I don't know if I've been to one since COVID or not, but remember I went to Luna down in
Yeah.
Ripple.
Yeah. That's where I usually go.
Yeah.
But
And they used to have bands out back. I don't know if they're doing that this year or not.
I mean, they were going to, but
Yeah,
the weather.
just Okay. Okay. All right. Well, very good. Let's get started. So you're the first person to make a return.
All
visit to
right.
the podcast. Yeah.
Well, very cool. I'm glad I brought the guys. So
Yeah.
it's like it's fresh.
Yeah. It is fresh.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think. It's probably been at least maybe a couple years.
It's been a couple years for sure.
Gosh, it's been that's went so fast. So, yeah. So let's. So we got Josh Gillespie and the Nomad Collective.
Correct.
We got to talk about the name, the Nomad Collective. I love that, and I love words that you maybe wouldn't normally pair together, and you go, that kind of works. Yeah. So who's responsible for that?
That would be me.
That would be you.
Partially.
Partially. I think Steve and I. So this was before Carl joined the band.
Okay.
Still on Josh's front porch.
Yeah, we were. That's where we would practice. Was on my front porch.
Okay.
And a guy by the name of Ed Wank, who used to be a radio personality in Indianapolis. He was the original guitarist, and he was still in the band when we were kind of bouncing around concepts.
Okay.
But I think I was running the concept or some ideas by my wife, and we were messing around with like pictures and stuff of what that might look like. We were using RVs and stuff, but I think Steve and I kind of settled on this, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, kind of the concept of we didn't really have a home yet because we were still out on our front porch and,
Yeah.
Okay.
kind of the wandering minstrel type
Yeah.
thought process. It's like, well, it's kind of like a collective because you kind of come together and everybody plays, but we don't really have a home yet. So the Nomad Collective just kind of came together.
Yeah, and there was some political connotations to it as well, but I think we've kind of mostly set those aside.
Maybe. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I love the name. So how long have you had the band?
Since 2021.
21. Okay.
Yeah. So Tim and I are the original members.
Okay. Yay.
And shortly after one gig that we did in where was the name of that place?
Oh, the place up north that we did the
Kirkland.
Kirkland.
Oh,
Yes.
Kirkland, Indiana.
Sure. Yeah.
One stoplight town.
Yeah.
We played one gig there, and then our bassist had to depart. I can't remember why, but he did. And then Ed stepped away because his wife had health issues.
Okay.
So, and looking for a bass player, I knew Steve played, but I still put out a call out, but he was one of the first people to respond, and I was like, absolutely.
Okay.
And then when Ed dropped out, Steve and Carl had been in a band together.
Okay. Very good. Very good. So what kind of musical backgrounds do you bring to the band?
Well, Tim hits things with sticks.
Okay.
Yeah, I think our musical backgrounds are all a little bit different. I was in a band in high school and college, and then took probably 10 years where I didn't play much of anything at all. Really, I didn't play regularly again until Josh reached out to me when we put this together. But yeah, as far as like musical styles that we all bring, I think we all have a little bit different background.
Little bit.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
curious about that.
I'm more of a like punk alt punk adjacent, alt country type of genre.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, a lot of my favorite bands are like guys who were in a punk band and then went and started something slightly different.
Okay.
Yeah, but still like retain those influences. So that's yeah.
Hey, Carl.
Yeah, I mean, early on I had I was take piano lessons in some
Okay.
band, and then by the time I was in high school, I picked up the guitar. My dad played guitar,
Okay.
so he kind of he was, I guess, my first teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And then college, after college, I started a family, and so I played guitar, but I wasn't in bands. And then once the kids got older, I kind of started joining this band, and we played, and that's where I met Steve. And then here we are.
In my front yard.
In your front yard.
Yeah, actually, we had this show. So our lead singer at the time, they lived in the same neighborhood, and so we had an outdoor show. And Steve says, "Hey, I play bass," and I was doing double duty with this band, playing bass and lead guitar. And I said,
Okay.
"Come on!"
Well, they showed up for this like block party thing that we were having in the neighborhood, and they were going to play, and their bass player didn't show up,
Mm.
so they didn't have a bass player. And I'm like, I have a bass in the house, and I went and got it, and I plugged it into this little tiny amp that Carl had,
Yeah.
and had never played with him before, and played the whole set with him.
Is that right? I love that. I love that kind of connection.
It was okay.
Yeah.
It was a little rough,
Yeah.
but it was fun.
Yeah.
And I mean, I hadn't played in years at that point because, I had small kids for a while and, obviously grow up, but
Sure.
they got into travel soccer and doing that. So I hadn't played in, I don't know, probably 6 or 8 years,
Yeah.
like really played at that point in time, and picked it back up, and here we are.
And here we are. Are you guys all self-taught? We probably talked about that, Josh. I don't
I
recall.
took lessons briefly
Okay.
while I could afford them.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it went.
Okay.
And then, mostly self-taught.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's why I'm still just a rhythm guy.
I understand that totally. Yeah.
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 But I can't, that's the wonderful thing about this band, and especially with Carl being a part of this band,
Mhm.
is that that's all I need to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I mean, for taking some time off, he's kind of a virtuoso
Yeah.
on the guitar.
Nice.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. So are you self-taught, Carl?
I would say, for the most part, I've had mentors. Now, more recently, I've taken some instruction
Yeah.
in the more recent past couple of years, and that's been really helpful. I think
bet.
things that have gaps. It's a little tricky when you learn, and maybe you have bad habits, and then you go to some instruction and you say, "Don't do it that way." And so,
Oh, that would be hard to break.
teach an old dog new tricks, but it actually has been very helpful. So, yeah.
Yeah. Good. 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 Well, we're here to talk about new music, right?
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is our first project as a band.
Okay. Oh, really?
Yeah, so this will be my third project for me personally,
Mhm.
but first time with the guys.
Yeah. And you're calling it the Camera, or is it just Camera?
It's the Camera
The
EP
Camera EP.
/ Dear
Yeah,
Exile Part
Yeah.
1.
Tell me about that. That was
So it's a two-parter because these 5 songs were ready.
okay.
We have an album's worth of music.
Okay.
But I mean, we've been playing these songs now for most of these
Few
songs
years,
for a
at
few
least.
years, yeah.
Really? Okay.
So that made recording them super easy. And so, but as I've been building out writing this particular album. I had like 10 songs,
Mhm.
but I really felt strongly about getting these 5 out.
Well, and it's interesting just the way we consume music now too, and how it gets released. You see a lot of that where it's not maybe a complete project because the way it gets out, you can turn around and release something again, and it's it's not the old days of going and pressing a record and
Mhm.
So very cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, there's the hope that we're able to get back into the studio this year and maybe record the follow-up EP and
Mhm.
have that even released by the end of the year.
Mhm.
But that may be a pipe dream as well. I in my mind things move very quickly.
Yeah.
But then once you get into the studio, things slow way down.
So did you record more than the 5 and just felt like,
No.
okay, you just did the 5.
Just have the
The
5
5. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. And did you record
at the engine room.
That's your place,
That's my
right?
place.
That's your place. Yeah.
Yeah.
So who produced it?
Anthony Couvert.
Okay, and he owns the.
He owns the engine room, and he produced my second album called Ghost Stories.
Yeah.
So I have a history of working with Anthony. He knows the sounds that I'm looking for. He's really kind of got the best out of me, and as a musician in the studio. And and my last album came out in August of last year, and I thought that it's cliche, but it feels right that it's the best, to say that's the best thing that you've released.
Yeah.
And I honestly feel that way about this because this album feels more complete with these guys
Okay.
than just me trying to do almost everything but drums, which Tim played drums on my second album.
Okay.
But this was truly a venture of all of our input, all of our personality, musically speaking. I mean, I still did all the lyrics, but musically speaking, these guys brought in their backgrounds, and I came into the rehearsal space with lyrics and a song.
Okay. So you've written the song.
I've written the song.
Okay, and then you bring it in. But it's maybe still like clay and
I mean, every time I bring something to the guys, it's going to start off as an acoustic track.
Okay.
And you've heard already had a preview of listening to the EP, and it's not an acoustic EP.
It's not an acoustic EP. No.
That's where these guys come in.
Yeah. My first impression, I've spent a little time with it, was it's got a great vibe to it. It's very lively. It seems, and I don't know if you would agree, but it seems like you've pushed yourself vocally on this.
That is, yes, I have, definitely.
That was one of the first things that jumped out. I thought he's pushing himself on this one.
And that's all thanks to Anthony.
Yeah.
Anthony has no problem telling me when something sucks.
Well, I guess you need honesty.
I do. Yeah. No, I appreciate his honesty.
Yeah.
It can get a little tedious at times, but no, at the end of the day, I actually really do appreciate it.
And you probably have worked with him enough now. You've got some trust built up. That it's all for the best. Yeah.
He knows exactly what I'm looking for.
So when you guys were tracking it, did you do it live? Because that studio is pretty small. Or did you have to do your part and then you do your part? Or how did you put it all together?
So I would have to come in with a poorly done bass track for these guys to work from.
Okay.
And it would annoy the heck out of Anthony because it was never in time, or it never kept time properly. And
Timing's not his strong point.
No. But so it was like almost pseudo live because there were times, like especially with camera, I think. No. Yeah, it was camera. It was camera,
Yeah.
and also Wages of Spin, where it's like I got most of it done. Well, especially with Wages of Spin, there is a part that I play differently than the way that we rehearse it or the way that we play it.
Well, on Wages of Spin too, we don't start off with the drum track or anything
we don't.
like that. So it's not it kind of everybody comes in at different times, and it doesn't start with any of the traditional like rhythm. So trying to make sure that everything stays on time through the whole thing, we did have to play that together.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of time. Yeah, we did. I mean, Carl was probably actually the one who got it the easiest because by the time he got the track, it was mostly, I mean, all we had to do was do his part. And so he had a track where everyone's on time. Whereas, Tim and Steve, they had to deal with what I gave them.
Yeah.
And every time I was in the studio, I would be back in there playing my track again, usually with them or singing with them to make sure that, to make up for my mistakes, honestly.
Okay. And so how long did it take you to from start to finish?
Let's see. Did we start that in December?
I was going to say, was it November or December?
But late
very end
November,
of
I
last
think.
year. So
Yeah, we started at the very end of last year. It got wrapped up. Anthony finished mixing and mastering it last week. And but that basically, we were in the studio maybe once or twice a month. So and we would have a whole day, and we would bang out as much as possible.
Yeah. So did the songs in their finished form, did they transition from kind of what you maybe originally thought they would be, and then by the time the guys get on it, you go, okay, that's a little different. It's better. Is that kind of what happens, or did they all land where you go, that's exactly what I had in mind?
I don't think any of them land exactly where he thinks they had in mind once they bring me and
Yeah.
Carl in.
Okay.
Yeah, because we're like, no, let's go a different direction with this spot
Okay.
here.
And I think that's
And
input.
I think we also try not to push him too far off the rails.
Yeah.
Because most of the concepts are really solid across the board. It's just, okay, so this particular phrasing in the rhythm, move that change from here to here,
Mm-hmm.
and then step out. And so we push little things to make everything else kind of come together.
Yeah.
Is the goal.
Okay.
Not necessarily that we want to change the songs, but just kind of when you go, and this is one of the things that Josh and I talked about too. When he goes out and does the stuff on his own, like little house shows or whatever he's doing at the time, an artist spotlight where there's 4 or 5 of them and they're just acoustic guitars, he can play however he wants to.
Yeah.
But once you got 4 people trying to do essentially 7 different things, and they all have to work together, sometimes we move stuff around to make it fit better. And that's really kind of what we do on it. Not necessarily change anything or push them in a completely different direction.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, stuff like they've had significant input in that way,
Sure.
both in the practicing process, but also in the studio.
Okay.
Steve comes up with some pretty phenomenal ideas in the studio, and in terms of like how to push things a certain way or how to pull things back.
Sure.
Especially when things are coming getting into the mix stage, and I send these files to the guys and I'm like, all right, here's what I'm thinking, here's what I hear, but what are you guys hearing? Because I mean, I could take it where it's just like, these are my songs,
Right.
these are my mixes,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But no, I want their input to be like, because they're playing on these songs.
Sure.
We are a band.
Yeah.
And that's different from what I'm used to doing. So it's fun to get their input and to be like, okay, Josh, what you did here, that needs to be taken back. And I take that input, I relay it to Anthony, and then when he sends us another mix, we're all pretty much on board.
And there's a couple things that we do live where some of the background vocals don't fit as well on a track. So we'll do it live, but they're not on the tracks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because they don't fit as well in that mix when we were trying to pull it together. And that could just been like, I had a bad day recording something, Carl had a bad day with something, whatever. It just didn't fit in the mix as well. Live, it seems to work well, but once you try to put them together on an album and you're mixing and mastering, and it just didn't quite fit. It's like, oh, well, we took that out. I think it sounds better without it. Perfect. Do it.
Okay.
So
you said you've been playing these songs for a while. Have they, kind of the same question, I guess, but have they morphed over time, having played them and just getting the feel for them, or to where they are now? From where they started and where you are now, was there some morphing of the songs?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
A lot of it kind of depends on what we're able to bring to the stage. Because I mean, I in a live setting, I'm not wanting to bring like 3 or 4 guitars. So sometimes if there's an acoustic track, I may play it with an electric just because it's like, I didn't want to bring so many guitars. And funny enough, as the rhythm guy, I'm the one who's changing guitars more often than Carl is. Carl is actually pretty good about staying within his 2 primary guitars, whereas I'm bringing in guitars that have alternate tunings. And
you're that guy. Then.
I am that guy. I am that guy. And
how many capos do you have now?
Oh my god!
On a single song?
On a single guitar?
On a single guitar, but so far just 2. Like, so I have one song on the Piece of My Heart, which has 2 capos on that particular song.
Is that right?
Yeah, on the acoustic.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, so they can definitely morph over time. Carl's solos morph over time. Um, and a lot of the times, especially, I mean, from live to tape, is like you have so much more of the feel, I think, when you're live.
Mm.
Whereas when you're in the studio, you got to do the same thing over and over again,
Mhm.
and sometimes you're writing on the fly.
Mhm. Mm.
But I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, for me, I would say that, like you said, the solos have changed over time. I think
Mhm.
some of that can be external influences, and like I said, I've been taking instructions, so some
Yeah.
things have.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I can use some of that,
Sure.
and also chasing tone, the
Oh.
elusive,
Oh.
and so
Yeah.
sometimes you try different tones, and something else comes out because it just sounds right,
Yeah.
and so yeah, it's an evolution, I'd say.
Are you using amps, or are you guys using modelers, or
I'm using a modeler.
are you?
I kind of switched. Initially, it was line 6, and now I'm in fractal, and I've only scratched the surface, I would say, of
Yeah.
what that's capable of. So
Yeah.
it's been great, though.
Was that an easy jump for you, or were you like, I'm an amp guy, but I need to? I mean, there's so much advantage to the modelers.
Yeah, I think it's a there was a transition, of course,
Yeah.
and I think it was the proof's in the pudding. I mean, the sound is there, and
Sure.
so
Sure.
for me, there's still room to bring out that loud tube amp sometimes,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah. So maybe in the weeds a little bit. Are you guys using in-ears or using monitors?
Yeah, we have a in-ear system that Steve has basically built for us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's really helpful. I think
Okay.
honestly, since we've gotten that, like that's helped. our
That's
live
helped,
shows
especially
immensely.
a lot of the live stuff, because you go a lot of places, and they're some of the stages and spaces are so tight that
Oh,
they
yeah.
have lots and lots of speakers and lots of subs, and they have a ton of the monitors out front, but you don't have enough space for all that to work.
Mm-hmm.
So everything just kind of gets lost.
Mm-hmm.
And putting the in-ears together to be able to take them to places like that really helps,
Mm-hmm.
because if he can't hear where Josh is at
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
in whatever chorus or whatever, he doesn't know where to go.
Right.
And if Josh is out in front of him and we've got nothing coming back, he
Mhm.
can't hear it. So being able to give him that, from my perspective, I'm fine, because I can hear him and I can hear me, because
Yeah.
I've kind of gone from having a small amp to building a bunch of pedals to going back to, I really like the sound without 99% of that. So for the most part, I'm running through a Mesa and
Mm. Okay.
just a single cab at this point on most of our gigs, and in a couple songs I've got a couple pedals, but everything else I've kind of regressed back into that, because it's cleaner and it fits better, and now I can hear Tim, I can hear me, and I can just kind of follow them wherever they go.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it
Okay.
works.
Is that a relatively new thing, the in-ears, or have you been using those for a while?
Year and a half,
yeah, I would
maybe.
say about a year. Yeah, we got it
Yeah.
together. Yeah.
That sounds right.
Yeah. Was that a comfortable transition? It seems like I've never used them. We just use monitors, and it seems like people either love them or they hate them.
It's a transition,
Yeah.
and it's getting used to it and understanding what they do and how they work, and getting the right set of IEMs for yourself.
Okay.
Because backstory, I started using IEMs in the late 2000s.
Okay.
I used to play with Vineyard Community Church in Greenwood,
Okay.
and they were an ampless stage.
Ah.
So you show up with your instrument, and you got a DI box, and that's it.
Mm.
And then you got in-ears, and you tell them what you want, and they mix it and do all that kind of stuff. And if in-ears are done really well, they are beautiful.
Mm.
If they're not, they are worse than not having them. It's one or the other.
Yeah.
You get them right, or they will mess you up.
Okay.
The one caveat you can do with your IEMs in your ears, you can get, and Westone actually makes a set of these. They make an IEM that has an open sound to it, so it doesn't actually cut off the externals, so you
okay.
can still hear what's around you.
Yeah.
But you can direct what is coming in as well. So you kind of mute everything down a smidge, but you still hear specifically what you want. And I know people that play with those because they like hearing the crowd,
Yeah.
and they like hearing everything else around them. Most people, especially if you're playing on a really loud stage,
Mhm.
tend to go with the ones that block out as much as they can.
Yeah.
And then you control just what you get.
Okay.
The rig we've got is based out of a Behringer XR18.
Okay.
So we each have a channel, an auxiliary channel out, and you can pull up an app on your phone and adjust your own mix on the fly as you're playing. So if something changes in the stage, the sound guy bumped up Carl's lead for some reason. Now I can't hear Josh's rhythm guitar. I can go in here and I can pull Carl back and I can bump Josh up on the fly,
Wow.
and it's back in my ears and I'm happy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so much better now. And before I was using ears, and sometimes I'd have to use house mix or something. It was frustrating. And
Yeah.
so this is so much better now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
It is really great, to be able to okay, I need to hear Steve no matter what, so I'm gonna dial him up. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually I'm turning Carl down because I love to hear you, but I don't need to follow every solo. So.
I always, when I played, I always cut the piano completely out when I played at Vineyard, and they were great, but I didn't need them at all.
Yeah.
So, you can tune certain things completely out if you don't need it. You can, if I don't want any of the other backing vocals, I just want Josh's vocal, I can turn him up. I can turn both me and Carl down in my ears. I can hear just him. It really gives you a wide variety of what you can do, and it makes your options just limitless.
Yeah. Cool. That's a nice little lesson in ears.
They're handy.
Yeah.
They are
handy.
actually very
Yeah.
handy.
Yeah. Good. We may have touched on this, but the EP's coming out
May 8th.
May 8th.
Yeah.
And that's
That's a Friday.
That's a Friday.
Friday, May 8th. However, we are having our CD release party May 7th at the Melody Inn.
Okay.
Yeah, with Grizzly and Joel Gregg and the Filaments.
Okay. Very
Yeah.
good.
Both of whom are excellent as well.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I've been to the Melody once. I went and saw Dick Dale there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and he would pull his motorhome right up front. I mean, right by the front door.
Mm-hmm.
Because at that point, he was not in great health. He played great, but
Mm-hmm.
he was not in great health. But
Finish up on the Miserloo.
yeah, oh yeah, and it was loud. It was
I
loud,
believe it,
as
yeah.
you can imagine. Yeah,
I believe it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I strongly encourage you to come out
Yeah.
to the Mel one more time.
Yeah, I would love to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's coming out May 8th, and it's going to be on all the.
All the streaming
Yeah.
platforms.
Are you going to do any hard copies, or is it?
Yeah, we'll have a CD.
You'll have CDs there.
Yeah, that's what that's what the release party's for.
Yeah. Okay.
So we'll have CDs for then, and a limited number. So
Yeah.
get them while you can.
Get them while you can. Okay. So tell me the concepts behind the songs. What's the theme of the EP? I read what you had posted there, and there's a lot there.
There is a lot there.
Yeah.
It's hard to narrow it down even just to two sentences. But I mean, basically, you look at songs like "Camera" or "Wages of Spin," or even "Soul for Sale." Basically, it's an album that focuses on themes of authenticity,
Mm-hmm.
and who you are, where you're getting your information, and just what happens when you kind of fall into the traps of something that's not authentic, or that's outright lies.
Yeah. Yeah. So is that something that I guess you're experiencing that, but you're also witnessing it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I for part of me thinks that it's kind of a continuation of what I was doing on my first album.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like these songs kind of cut a little deeper
Mhm.
and are a little bit more timely.
Mm-hmm.
And it's meant to challenge the status quo in many ways
Mhm.
of how we collect information and how we understand ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So favorite song on the record? Is that a fair question?
Oh, it's absolutely a fair
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
For me, it changes all the time.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, it kind of depends on how we're playing. You know, uh, I think there has been a time when every single song has been a favorite song for me.
Mm-hmm.
We close every show with Wages.
Okay.
It just because it's a pretty epic tune.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, it's probably either Urgency or Soul for Sale. Urgency of Now or Soul for Sale. I don't know. Like it just like the last time we played Soul for Sale, like at the full, not acoustically. It was like, dang, that really kind of came together really nicely.
Yeah.
But for me, it always changes. I can't speak for the other guys, but
Yeah.
Chime in.
I mean, I think before we started recording, like Wages has been my favorite for a long time. You know, it's one of the songs I get to go a little bit crazier on and, open up what I do on the kit a little bit more than some of the other songs. But then going into the studio and like, when I'm in the studio, I generally am like pulling my parts back a little bit compared to what I play live. Because I'm usually just playing to, a click and Josh's acoustic guitar track. So there's not as much to work with, but also just like things that sound okay live are like, man, that's way too busy when I put it on the album. So after we started recording, like the same thing, I really liked what we did with Urgency on the EP. But I actually think, at least for the past 2 or 3 weeks since I've heard the version from the EP, I think Soul for Sale's back to being my favorite for now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'll change in 2 weeks.
yeah,
Change. Anybody else?
I think Urgency is probably my favorite one of our tracks.
Is that the second song?
that is the second song. It'll be technically it'll be the first single.
Will it? Okay.
It'll be released on Wednesday. I mean, typically these days, you release music on Fridays, but I'm releasing this on Wednesday because we have a Fox 59 hit on that Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, might as well drop a single that day.
Yeah, good deal. Yeah, when you sent that to me, and thank you for doing that, somehow when I clicked on it, that's the first song that played. I thought it was the first song on the record. I'm like, man, that's a great opening song. And then I realized, oh, that's the second song.
No.
And then I played the first song, Camera. And I was like, well, that's pretty good too. That's a pretty good opener as well. So you got two, and that was the energy that my immediate sense was that's really got good energy. And I'm not just saying this because you guys are here, but the playing is really strong. And you can hear it. And that's why about the producer question, and I don't know if the final draft, if that's what I heard or if that.
Oh, you heard the final draft.
Okay. Because I think it said something, I forget where, in parentheses. I forget what it said now, which made me think, oh, you might be doing one final thing to it, but that is the final.
That
draft.
is the final.
Yeah, it sounded great. The playing was super strong, lively. Or just with some bounce and like the drums were popping and just everything sounded really good.
These guys.
Yeah.
Seriously, it is these guys. I can only do so much. And if I didn't have these guys, this album would not sound as good as it does, in my opinion.
Yeah. Good. What? So we've talked a little bit about favorite songs. What?
We didn't get Carl's favorite song.
Oh yeah, Carl. Yes, jump in, Carl.
So I think I want to give a little love to Piece of My Heart, though.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah,
all right.
it's
All
fun
right.
to play for me, and I enjoy
Just
that.
take it.
Uh-oh. But
379th time Steve's made that
You're
joke.
welcome. And I'll make it every time.
but Urgency, I think, is also becoming one of my. I do like that a lot.
Yeah.
That's another one. Just, real quick to talk about things that morph over time. We were practicing that one like the night before we were going into the studio. We had Steve, Tim, and I had all done our parts, and Carl was left to do his part, and we were all like, "Okay, let's go over Urgency again, just so that we're prepared for it." And again, it was one of those things where the solo was morphing over time, and then he just did something that was completely different than what he had been doing.
Okay.
And Steve was like, "That's it."
Everything else you've done, scrap it. That's it. Stay there. Whatever you just did, do it again.
Yeah, and I would add Anthony had some input on that too
Yeah.
in terms of there's a fill early and then a solo later, and that was really good. I think good advice.
Yeah.
Are you able to recreate if they go do that again? Are you able to recreate, or do you tend to just improvise when you're
It
playing?
depends on the song.
Okay. Yeah.
Some songs are a little more the same.
Yeah.
But I think it varies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tend to be more improvising, so it's hard to Now, if of course, we're playing cover songs, so there are things where,
Right.
I've got to learn that part because I do a little lead, mostly rhythm, but a little lead, and that can be tough.
It's restrictive if you have
Yeah.
to, get it exact. I
Yeah.
think. So
Yeah.
I think you want to have that
And
flexibility.
usually when we're like, whatever you did, do that again. It's more in terms of like tone and style.
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't have to be the exact same fill in. It doesn't have to be the exact same lead. Like change whatever feels good.
Mm-hmm.
But the sound was right.
Mm-hmm.
The feel was right. The speed was right. Like that fit into the section better than what you were doing before.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
kind of do that feel again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's literally what we did with the urgency solo. Is he did something different. He had a different pedal turned on, and instead of going into it with a fast hard lead, he came in with like almost like a slow melodic thing, and it set it apart because everything else is fast and moving, and now you have this nice melody
Yeah.
that's kind of not with everything else, but it fits into everything else, and it really stands out.
And that's all in the
So-
fractal, right? Are you running anything outside of that?
It's line out of the fractal. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. And what amp are you this is me geeking a little bit.
Oh
What
man,
amp are you using?
I can't remember.
Look at
which
me.
one
I
that is.
don't know what you got in that thing.
I'll have to think on that for this song. Yeah. Sorry.
No, I was just curious if you had an amp.
There's a number I go through. Sometimes I
Do you-
change amps in the middle of a song.
Okay. Oh, really? Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
That's the beauty of the model.
That's what's that. There's one of
Yeah.
your advantages,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So we've talked about favorite songs. And this could be in your entire catalog. What's the hardest song for you guys? And it may be different for each of you. What's the song but this is tough. We play it, but it's tough to play it live.
Well, I can take that one because I've got an easy, ready to go answer.
Yeah, you do.
It's urgency because it's just the groove is just straight 16ths, really, really fast,
Okay.
and it's not like necessarily a complicated groove, but it's just physically challenging. And,
Yeah. Okay.
if we do that, I'm like, okay, we have to sandwich this between two like slower tempo songs because
Yeah.
if we do 3 really fast ones in a row and end with urgency by the end of it, I'm like, okay, my arms just need a break.
Yeah,
Not as young as I once was.
I definitely have to play around with the playlists when
Yeah.
I'm thinking about that.
Yeah.
Jim,
Yeah.
keep my drummer safe.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for me, it's actually the other direction. Piece of My Heart,
Okay.
because it's not a super busy song. So to actually make the bass fit right and sound right,
Mhm.
I can't play that much.
Mm.
So I have to be very judicious about what I play, where I play it,
Okay.
so that it stays in the rhythms, but it doesn't get out of those little pockets that they have to be in. So it's, very much more, you have to stay in the pocket, in the groove, and stay right in the little spots
Mhm.
so that it doesn't kind of overwhelm everything else. And you're like, that doesn't fit.
Mhm.
So that's the hardest one for me, just because it is much more stripped back.
Yeah. Okay. Carl?
Well, I would just say in general, Josh has some unique chord progressions.
Okay,
And
there you
so
go. Yeah.
and that's what makes it really interesting for me. So Soul for Sale, I can get, if I'm not staying in the zone, I can get mixed up on with the keys basically,
Yeah.
or where I think of the key, is
Mhm.
what I'm playing. So
Yeah.
it's
I have a bunch of songs like that where I mix them up.
Yeah.
I do, and not intentionally, but that's again that's part of what I come to them with lyrics and a song. I'm like, here's what I got,
Yeah.
and then sometimes they have to adapt, and then sometimes they make me adapt.
Yeah. So for you, what's maybe the toughest song to sing or sing and play?
Honestly, that's a good question because we pull from my solo catalog
Sure.
as well, and we've been playing these songs for so long now
Mhm.
that even in practice, it just feels like these things come naturally at this point.
Mhm.
Um, but urgency can be kind of hard.
Okay. From a
From a playing perspective,
Mhm.
not from a singing perspective. From a singing perspective, that might actually be Piece of My Heart because I get into a higher range on that one,
Okay.
and Anthony will be like, "Why do you do this to yourself?" And I'm like, "I don't know,"
Yeah.
but Singing wise, yeah, that probably is one of the more difficult ones. The stuff that we do in the back catalog, um, for Carl, it might be ghost stories,
Mm.
just because he's literally noodling the entire song,
Okay.
and I do change keys in that song for sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's true.
Um,
One good point.
and when I recorded that, I only had like one solo.
Okay.
Like there was no noodling because
Okay.
I'm a rhythm guy.
Yeah.
But Anthony was like, "You can do this. You can. Like, all right, fine. I guess I will." And I was pretty pleased with what I came up with.
Uh-huh.
And so when I brought it to the band, I'm like, "Hey, look, I have this nice little solo. It's not all that difficult, but it's and Steve's like, you know what actually would sound really good in this song? You know that song? What was the Eagles track?
Oh,
Get Over It.
by the
Yeah.
Eagles.
Get Over It by the Eagles. So when they made their comeback.
Mhm.
And is it Glenn Fry who's just basically noodling the entire time?
The lead guitar on that song basically starts going, and it's playing some riffs, but it literally starts in and never stops.
Yeah.
All the way through, and it's almost like a cohesive lead through
Okay.
the entire song.
And we're like, Carl, do
And it
that.
flows, all of the riffs flow right into like solos, and they come right back out into them, and it just never stops.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it flows through the whole thing in the back behind everything else, and it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's actually been one of the fun things about bringing some of my older stuff to the band is that, I have a recording of it and be like, we could do that, or I could just let these guys do what they do
Mm-hmm.
and we could make it our own.
Yeah.
So in terms of what's hard, I think it's probably, making it our own is probably what is initially the hardest. Because there are a couple of things that they'll keep from, like maybe from the original recordings, but for the most part, it's fresh. It's from these guys now.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. I got to ask you about the Rush shirt.
Oh, absolutely, please do.
Yeah,
I'm a huge fan.
Yeah. What do you think of the reboot?
I am excited. I even tried to get tickets, but that was a no-go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if I actually could have been able to afford tickets, I got in the queue and it did everything.
Were they in Chicago?
Yeah, Chicago is what I was looking at. I even looked at Cleveland, but anyway,
Yeah.
but Chicago is what I was going for mostly. And
Yeah.
I got into the queue and I saw where I was sitting and how much they were costing. I was like,
Yeah. Listen.
I love you guys, but
Yeah.
not that much.
Yeah, it's not gonna...
But no, I'm actually thrilled.
Yeah.
I miss Neil. He's in my mind the greatest drummer to ever, to bang the Skins, and he was the professor for a reason. But these songs belong to Geddy and Alex as well, and they're not just Neil's. Even though he wrote the lyrics, and I think it does them as musicians a disservice not to play their own songs.
Yeah, that's at the end of the day, it's easy to forget these guys are, they're people, obviously, and they want to play.
They want to play, and
they should be able to go out and play their songs.
And Annika is doing, she's not coming, in the way that Josh Freese had to replace Taylor Hawkins, and that was like there was so much pressure on him. It seems like Geddy and Alex have gone out of their way, to not put that kind of pressure on her and make her feel like she's replacing Neil.
Yeah.
And so I think that's really kind of benefited her. And when they came out and at the Juno Awards and played Finding My Way, I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
All right. One, they played a John Rutsey song, which I thought was pretty fun.
Yeah, that was interesting. I was like, that's not even a Neil song.
But at the same time, it was kind of apropos because it was like they're finding their way in a new era, But I'm psyched. I think from what I've seen of Annika Niles, I'm just blown away by her ability. So she seems like a really good pick.
Yeah. I wasn't sure it would work, and the more I stewed on it, and then I saw that, I'm like, yeah, and these guys, they deserve to be playing. That's one thing I've always, a guy I work with, we talk about this all the time, Jimmy Page. He's on the shelf. He's been on the shelf forever. I thought, that guy needs to be playing some music with somebody. you know, and so I'm glad they're out playing.
Yeah, I am too. I am too. I think just kind of along the lines of Jimmy Page. I mean, Robert Plant now has Saving Grace,
Yeah,
and he's playing Zeppelin tunes with these guys.
yeah,
So, and they're getting new life.
they get a new life. Yeah,
I
and
mean,
good for him.
yeah.
Yeah, good for him.
Even though he refuses to do a tour with Zeppelin anymore.
Yeah,
Well, you know.
But but the Saving Grace is working for him.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
And yeah, so it's a good backing band. And did you see their version of Ramble On Colbert?
I did.
It was fantastic.
It
That
was.
was fantastic.
Yeah, it was. It was really solid. In fact, I sent it out to a couple people. I sent it to my mom. She saw Zeppelin back in '72 or something.
Oh wow,
like
in the
that.
prime.
Yeah, and she's a big Zeppelin fan. But I sent that to her, and she was impressed. She'll probably hear this. She's a tough critic.
Mhm.
She was impressed.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, that was very cool. And it's just cool that he's still out doing it and doing it in his way, and it's not cheesy or
Yeah.
campy or
Exactly.
Yeah. So, what about you guys? What else, what are you listening to? What's on your radar? Bands on the radar? What's for you, Carl? What do you?
Boy, there's a whole range, right? I think I have interest in a lot of different genres, and it's right now it's Josh Gillespie and the Nomad Collective.
Good answer.
Good to see that's number one on your playlist.
It probably will be at the end of the year for me. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's there's great music out there. There's great music, I think, in Indianapolis. There's a band called Cosmic Situation,
Okay.
and Brandon Berner. He's fantastic. Django Knight, love what he's doing.
Yeah.
And so yeah, just I would say I do like the kind of the bluesier rock, but that's again, it's a whole spectrum of music that I'm into. So.
Yeah. Cool. Very cool.
Yeah. Well, I can talk about the band on my shirt here.
Yeah.
It's the Hold Steady.
Hold
They're
Steady.
my favorite band.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know them.
Mhm, I do.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah. So I've followed them for years. I've probably seen them between 20 and 25 times
Okay.
live. And
Wow.
yeah.
You are a fan.
Oh yeah, it's like super fan. I've been a fan since 2005, 6, something like
Okay.
that. So yeah, long time. They haven't put anything out this year or anything.
Yeah.
Another guy that I've been into a whole lot recently was a guy out of Philadelphia named Dave House.
Okay.
He had a new record out. Same sort of guy that used to be in a punk band, now has more of a punk adjacent singer-songwriter kind of vibe to him.
Mhm.
But really cool, really, really great songs, really good, catchy, solid guitar work. Yeah, that's kind of
Cool.
what I've been listening to.
Nice. All right. Steve.
I probably am the most eclectic of all of them.
Okay.
I grew up listening to gospel and like old school country,
Okay.
and moved into classic rock, but I also grew up playing trombone in bands and all that sort of stuff. So I took a music history class in high school, got into classical music. So anything from Hector Berlioz to, there's a guy, he's originally from, I want to say the Isle of Man. He lives in Chicago. His name's Davey Knowles. He's kind of that blues
yeah.
rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Understand.
Got to see him
Young guy.
last year. Yeah. He's 35, 38, something
Yeah.
like that now.
Yeah.
He's maybe closer to 40. I don't know. Been following him since he was with Backyard Slam.
Okay.
They played on the 92.3 Free Stage years ago, and that's where I first heard them.
Okay.
So I kind of, it depends on the day, what's
Mhm.
going on in my mood. What I pop up on the playlist while I'm trying to work, because I get to work from home, which is
Yeah.
nice. And yeah, it's literally anything from classical to like heavy metal, depending on the day, what I'm trying to.
Yeah.
And it's
do.
this stuff that they bring
Yeah.
to practice and into the songs that I write.
Yeah.
And it was actually fun. We were listening to Dave House practice, and a couple of other people.
Yeah.
And we're all like, we need to write songs like this. Like, all right, I'll work on it. Give me time.
So if you haven't watched Davey Knowles stuff recently, go find their live version of Sultans of Swing.
Okay.
They're a 3-piece. guitar, bass, and drums, and they're doing a live full cover of Sultans of Swing.
Okay.
It is fantastic.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I'll check him out. I do. I know. I follow him on Instagram, and those things will pop up in your feed once in a
Yeah.
while. And it seems like he's in the algorithm right now. So
Good.
I definitely need to make sure.
He's a really nice guy too.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes it even better. Yeah, I'll throw one out. This is my recent thing, and it's related to Canada. Tragically Hip. Now they're not a band anymore.
No, but there.
But I'm kind of a latecomer to Tragically Hip.
Mm-hmm.
But they had a thing on Amazon, a 2 or 3 part, 4-part show or series on them, and just started watching it by chance. And I was like, I need to check these. And the music's just fantastic. And I saw them open for The Who in 2007.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I don't remember much of it because I wasn't there to see them. You know,
Sure. Yeah.
The Who was the first concert I took my boys to.
Was The Who?
Yeah, that was the first real rock concert they'd ever been to.
Okay.
Was
That
The Who.
one?
Yeah.
Going in 2006?
No.
Okay.
The last one they did
Okay.
here in Indy.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Rush's last show in India was I took my son to.
Is that
It
right?
was his first show.
Okay.
He was 5.
Yeah.
that was a good show.
That was a good show.
Too
Steve
bad
was there
Mark
too,
Warner
that's right.
couldn't go to that.
Oh, it's a shame.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
He's a friend of ours.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that just goes to show how far back Steve and I go. Actually, Steve and I go back
Even farther than that.
farther than
Okay.
that. So we'll just leave it at that. But we go way back.
All right,
Exactly.
cool. Well, we'll wrap up. We'll get to some music here. What's the vision for the band, or what's the vision going forward now when the album comes out? And what?
Just looking for gigs to play.
Yeah.
Looking for ways to get out there and promote the album.
Mhm.
I've been, not just contacting you. I've been pushing it out to a lot of different people.
Yeah.
And I don't know, for some reason, because these guys are involved, there feels like there's more at stake. So I'm
Mhm.
like doing a lot more in terms of pushing
Mm-hmm.
the band, trying to get us performances, instead of just focusing or trying to split my focus between solo stuff and
Sure.
and full band stuff.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get more of the shows with us. Hopefully, we can get some shows from around the state.
Mhm.
Grizzly has said they'd go with us
Mm.
to do some shows because when you go to a venue and you're like, "Hey, I want to play,"
Mhm.
sometimes they were like, "Do you have a bill?"
Mm.
And so now I'm presenting them here.
Mm.
It's us and Grizzly. We have a bill.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I'm just kind of working to fill that out.
Yeah.
And
Do you do any covers, or are you doing all? of
Oh,
your
we do
songs?
some covers,
Yeah.
but we like to keep them to a certain degree kind of obscure.
Sure.
So obscure that most of the times, if they come from recommendations from Tim, no one's ever heard of them.
Yeah.
So we cover a song by the band Lucero, and every time I ask if anybody's ever heard of the band Lucero, we get crickets.
Yeah, I
We
think
go
maybe
right
one
into the
person
song.
ever
Go
has
right
heard of them other
Yeah.
than me. Yeah.
They're great though.
They are great. They
They're a
are
good
absolutely
band.
great, and we do a pretty good cover. Steve sings the cover, and that's
Oh.
actually the interesting thing about when we do covers.
Mhm.
That's when you get to see the other guys sing,
Yeah.
and it's not just me.
Okay.
Like getting to take leads. So we do "The Letter" by
Yeah.
Box Tops.
Yeah.
Carl sings lead on that.
Do you?
Hard
Um,
to handle. We've done.
Hard to Handle. Yeah, we've done
Yeah.
Hard to Handle by the Black Crowes. That's
Yeah.
probably actually the biggest song that we've done.
Yeah.
We do a pretty killer cover of Poncho and Lefty,
Mm.
also featuring Steve.
Ever heard Poncho and Lefty is a punk rock song?
I was gonna
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
do you rock it up a
We
little
do.
bit?
Yeah.
Do you really?
We absolutely do.
Wow.
Quite a bit.
We started out, slow like it typically is,
Yeah.
but then halfway through that first verse, we kick it into gear.
Do you?
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Nice.
So we have a few covers in our back pocket,
Yeah.
but it's kind of cool to be able to play some of our own stuff.
Yeah,
But
yeah, of
these
course.
guys, I mean, Steve and Carl were in a cover band
Mhm.
prior to this, so they pushed me on getting more covers into the set.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
props to them for doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. Well, cool. Well, good luck with getting some gigs booked and
Thank
getting
you.
the music
Yeah,
out
thanks.
there, getting the message out there, and we'll hit pause here and we'll get set up and we'll hear a couple songs.
Yeah,
Yeah. Awesome.
sounds great.
All right.
Thank
Thanks.
Thank you.